G'day everyone, Simon here, Explosive Action, out here doing another shopping trip. I've got Geoff from Mendicant Media here.
Howdy.
Howdy. And we're going to go check out some record stores, so let's go. And the first stop near the train station is Egg Records. Going to check out some of their vinyl and CDs. Geoff's already straight into it, not too sure what he's picked up here. Not a band that I recognise, that's for sure, but he seems quite enthused. Then we checked out Rock Legends playing the songs of AC/DC. I couldn't think of anything worse. Pretty shocking lineup, and man, I don't like AC/DC. Into the metal CDs. First thing here that Geoff's picked up is the Vulgar Tongue compilation. Hardly a necessity, but it's got some tracks from Blood Duster and Damaged on it. This is an Acrimony CD. It kind of looked very doom metal, so I gave it a listen, and oh my god, it's anything but. This sounds like indie rock to me. Sometimes appearances are just deceiving. Check out these cool figurines. Classic horror franchises, but I'm really enthused by the Alien Xenomorph Big Chap. Fantastic, it's almost worth buying for the box alone. Monsters of the Movies box there, and a few other nice little knickknacks in the display shelf. Into Repressed Records now. This is the bulk of our visit. They've rearranged things a bit. We have an A to Z and they've moved the metal to the back of the shop. Far easier to get to now. Taking a bit of a look through some of these records. That new Razor album's not very good. Repulsion, bit of a classic. Everybody owns this one. Not too sure who Rudo Raja are. I'm pretty familiar with this Remains album. Should give that a listen one day. Snorlax, they're a local band, they're good. Thor's Hammer, I think this is some vintage recordings. Quite a few Undergang reissues here. Very, very tempting, I've got to say. That Vrenth album I do need to pick up at some point. Tangent, I think that's a local band. More Undergang. Yet more Undergang. Geoff's eyeing off this Raspberry Bulbs album. I gave it a listen, it sounds just like noisy punk to me. Nothing I'm interested in. The Degraved EP. I've eyed this off many times. I think today's the day. On the wall here was a used copy of a Neptunian Maximalism album. Great album artwork. This is out on I Void Hanger. It's a bit of an experimental doom metal album and a bit too experimental for me. Into Papa Disco. See what cool stuff we can find in here today. Geoff's never made it into this shop before, so he's straight into the metal bins, eyeing off the Spectral Birth album. That Scepter album, been there for quite some time. And this After Death, now I've passed this by a few times, but it was Geoff that pointed out it's got Unishbricklicken Colton on the other side, definitely coming home with me. And the obligatory pub schnitzel and beer. And followed by some coffee ice cream for the journey home. So just a short shopping trip today out there with Geoff. I definitely spent more time chatting with Geoff than I did filming things, which was half the point. We had a good natter over lunch. And I did pick up a few things, but before we get into that, let's see what Geoff picked up.
And here's what I picked up. From Repressed Records, I got Malignant Altar with Retribution of Jealous Gods. This one was a reissue out on Masako. This one came with their EP as well. Yeah, pretty hefty Texan death metal. Quite enjoyable. A couple of members of Insect Warfare, so bloody good. I'd been a little slack getting this one, so Simon encouraged me to get it. Thanks, mate. Also from Repressed, I got Gosyudar, which is like a Russian death sort of doomy band, but slow death metal. Let's put it that way. Yeah, these guys are serious looking sorts. No smiling, mate, no smiling. So yeah, I like these guys. It's, slow death, doomy sort of stuff, fine by me. This is another Masako. This is a reissue of one that I think originally came out on Rotted Life, so happy to grab this one. Again, more encouragement from Simon, thank you. And also, lastly, from Repressed, I got, and this is one I actually went there to get, Ascended Dead with their Even Fall of the Apocalypse album. This is their second album. For some reason this band never really clicked for me, except for a couple of weeks ago I just randomly scrolled through it in my library, listened and went, oh yeah, that's bloody good. So this is pretty chaotic death metal. Almost call it not quite war metal or black death, but yeah, it ain't sludgy, deep sort of stuff. It's raspy, nice sort of stuff. So yeah, this is fancy gatefold with a lot of crap going on. Boys looking evil on the back. And yeah, I'm happy to get this one. I think I'll probably have to try and track down the first album soon as well. But yeah, this is shredding stuff. And also from Repressed, I got suckered by Tapes on the Wall. This is you probably can't see it. Anyway. Anoxia. This is Sydney death metal band with their Languish in Suffering demo, which sounds pretty bloody killer. Again, I haven't really listened to any of these since, except for this next one, which is what we got from Puppet Disco. So thanks to Simon for dragging me over there. I hadn't been there before. It's opposite Enmore Theatre. So, and yeah, this is What Happens Next with their, what's it called? Stand Fast Armageddon Justice Fighter album. This is a sort of fastcore, kind of punky, hardcore sort of band from California somewhere, I think. Members of like Spaz and what are they called? Artemis Pyle and a ton of different bands. So yeah, this is just quite speedy sort of stuff. You can tell from the photos probably what they sound like. Ooh. Opens up. Hey. So yeah, I was not expecting to find this there. I don't think I've ever seen this for sale before, so what the hell? I like these guys. I think we even had one member stay in my old group house. I think the bass player was in Artemis Pyle, and yeah, I think we had them crash one of their tours. So yeah, good stuff. So yeah, thanks again to Simon for dragging me around Newtown. It was a pleasant day, even if I was rather sweaty and rather sore from the gig the night before. I'm really sorry you didn't get to see Mortiferum, sorry, because yeah, they were bloody killer, as were Contaminated and Altars and Faceless Burial. But yeah, Mortiferum were great. So real shame you missed that. Hopefully they'll come back at some stage. And yeah, so thanks for a fun day and quality lunch at the old townie. Love it. Cheers.
And yes, as Geoff pointed out, I did not make the gig I was really wanting to get to. For 3 months, I was very excited to get to this gig. It was Contaminated, local Sydney guys. It was Faceless Burial from Victoria. It was Altars from South Australia and Mortiferum coming out from the States. And they were playing on a boat in Sydney Harbour. I mean, I haven't done one of those about 20 years ago when the infamous, it's now quite infamous, Exhumed boat cruise, which was as loose as anything. And by all accounts, this Mortiferum gig was just as good. So yeah, I was 2 days out of hospital and did not think it wise to spend 6 hours trapped on a boat. So I had to refrain this time around. Hopefully they'll come back. But Geoff was a good buddy and he picked me up a tour shirt. Sight unseen, I said just XL, black, Mortiferum, short sleeve, let's go. And it was exactly the kind of thing I was hoping for. This is the kind of shirt that you'll see me wearing a lot. It's me, right? You just get the logo and you get a nice scribbly black and white artwork. That's what I want. I don't particularly like, full album cover shirts. There you go, there's the back. Got the tour dates. Charnel Transfiguration Tour. Japan, China, Southeast Asia, and Australia. They played a few dates down here. So yeah, it's a little bit cheeky for me to have a tour shirt for a tour I didn't go to, but whatever. I was there in spirit, god damn it. I was very annoyed I couldn't make that one, but yeah, it's all good. I have a very killer shirt thanks to Geoff. Now the stuff that I picked up at the record stores today, I just picked up 2 things. This one actually Geoff pulled out at Puppet Disco, and this is a funny one because I've pulled it out, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. You've probably seen it in plenty of old videos that I pulled this one out, and I just couldn't put it back. I never really thought to look into it, and well, yeah, shame on me. So yeah, this one here, which is a band called After Death, and I don't know, I saw this and I figured, it's probably some kind of doom band or something. No, and not only is it After Death, but this was the thing. It's a split with Unersprechlich and Kulten, who was one of my favourite Chilean death metal bands. It's been there for years. I never bothered to flip it around. But After Death, so this is essentially Nocturnus. So before we had Nocturnus AD, back in 2012, Mike Browning gave it a kick again and couldn't get the rights, so he called it After Death for just this. There's like demos, maybe a couple of demos or something, but the only real release was this thing, split with Unerspricklich and Colton. It sounds like Nocturnus. I mean, it's that kind of raspy vocal, Mike Browning also doing the drums with heavy keyboards, like Floridian style death metal. It's exactly what you expect. There's the inside there. There's the guys from the two bands, and you get the sort of chapter card thing there. So that's the After Death style side, and they did a cover of which one? They did a Morbid Angel cover, Chapel of Ghouls. And, it sounds pretty much like the Abominations of Desolation kind of Chapel of Ghouls. Mike Browning on the vocals. It's a great job. They added the keyboards, of course, because Nocturnus style. But, yeah, this is practically Nocturnus before they kicked it again and became Nocturnus AD. And I like the tunes on here more. So, there you go. Quite a crammed side. There's like 28 minutes of just them on side A. Which is pushing the boundaries. But then you have the Unerspricklich and Colton. So this is a 2012 release. This comes after, I think, their first two albums in the chronological order. And there's their side of the chapter card. So each band gets 6 tracks each. Colton has, I think, it's about 23 minutes on their side, so a bit more room to breathe. But yeah, look, this is a great little split. Very happy with it. Obviously, I prefer the Colton side, but the After Death side, the not quite Nocturnus side, is really good. Just simple black. I think there's plenty of variants of this. So that's one side. I think, what do we got here? Pretty sure that's the After Death side. No, that's the After Death side, and that's the Colton side. So, yeah. Good little release, and yeah, I think there might have been some color variants or something. And there was multiple copies of this thing sitting there at Papa Disco. So at some point they got copies in, and yeah, pretty happy, to be honest. It's better than the Nocturnus AD stuff. It's better than the what was the second album from Nocturnus? Anyway, it's not as good as the Key, but it's better than the other stuff. So that's praise from me. But yeah, the Colton stuff's really good. They're really starting on this one here to get into their own style. So the first couple of albums, they were very, a little bit more primitive in the death metal sound they were doing, but they're really getting to their own style. The stuff that was very much, you can see where they are now compared to this. It's closer than it was in the first couple of albums. So yeah, great. Happy to have this one. So yeah, thanks Geoff for picking that one out. And from Repressed, I picked up the Degraved EP. Came out pretty much this time last year. It's like mid-January 2023. It's been kicking around Repressed for a while, and it's just made it to the top of the priorities list. But it was this time. Picked it up, good price. This is Whispered Morbidity, their first EP, 2023. In 2020, they did this demo tape, Exhumed Remnants, which is what put them on my radar. Really, really good demo, this one. Came out, like 2020 on Holy Domain. So yeah, I've been spinning that one for a bit. But this EP is just an improvement. So these guys are just playing your murky, mid-paced, slower to mid-paced death metal. Kind of reminds me of like Leprophiliac, but with a bit more Finnish touches. These guys are out of Seattle. I'm pretty sure Degraved members are in a bunch of other things. But it's just standard death metal. I mean, the font, the everything, just death metal. So yeah, I mean, it's on MSUO. If you like the sort of, that just chugging away mid-paced death metal, very thick and dark and nasty, then Degraved is something that should be on your radar. I think they do a really good job. 4 tracks, and very nice. It's on a sort of translucent-y, sort of bluishy green kind of thing, aqua, turquoise, teal, whatever you want to call it. It did come in a paper sleeve, and my God, seriously, record labels, please spend that extra 5 cents and use a poly-lined inner, because it refused to come out of that paper sleeve, and I had to cut it out. Otherwise, I was going to cause scratches and micro abrasions, and I wasn't going to have any of that. So I just laid it flat, ripped the thing off, anti-static brushed the hell out of it, and put it in a new poly liner. So yeah, please guys, it costs you 5 cents, I'm sure. There's the band. There you go. So Nick Emard on guitar and vocals, Simon Cosboom on drums, Daniel Radu on bass guitar, Alex Gaziano on guitar. So yeah, your standard death metal photo there, looking spooky in front of a church. There's a Carcass shirt there. There is an old Bolt Thrower shirt there. There's denim jackets. These guys are just death metal, straight up death metal. And it's good stuff. And now we've had a demo and an EP. I would like to see a full length, guys. I reckon that's probably the next thing that's going to happen. So yeah, Degraved. That is a garbage truck going behind me. So we're going to call it a day on this shopping trip video. Great timing as always there. Thanks, Geoff, for coming along. I hope you had a fun trip with me, checking out the record stores of Newtown, having a wonderful bite of delicious beer. Certainly something I needed after 5 nights in hospital eating that food. And it was a good excuse to try and get out of the house, stretch my legs a bit. Not quite ready for a gig, but I was certainly ready for a stroll around the record shops and having a pub schnitzel. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this little shopping trip. A bit of a collab video it turned out to be. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Geoff, Mendicant Media. Link will be down in the description. You go check out his stuff. He does similar things to me on the metal side, does collection updates once a month, does deep dives into labels. He's done like Earache, he's done Roadrunner. He goes deep dives into these labels. Does year end of videos, best of kind of things. Does occasionally tour videos, so I think he's taken some footage of the Mortiferan gig. We might see a video from that. So yeah, go give him a sub, and if you haven't subbed to me, give me a sub. Why not? Like this video, check out this thing, check out that thing, and I'll see you next time.